Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Happy Gemini full moon. This full moon is a full moon that has us examining what are the karmic patterns in our communication, in our thinking, particularly when it relates to our close family members, our siblings, particularly. How are we navigating, communicating, telling the truth, dealing with our family in this month of November? How has it been as we move forward into November? I know for me, it has been trying. November has had beef with everybody and everything, right? So I'm sending you right at the open lots of love and lots of healing to any situation that you are currently dealing with in your family, because I believe that we're getting some really hard hits right now, particularly with from and within our families. And I know that there's a lot of sadness and grief there that's also present. So I want to acknowledge that. And I just want to give you some encouragement over this Gemini full moon that has so much to talk about with how do we communicate with those people that we've incarnated with here that we call family. And what I want to point out is that these are old karmic ties. These are old karmic things that are coming up for us to deal with. And so what you might be noticing are the patterns in the relationships, the ways in which we have always communicated. What's our communication pattern in these relationships that now we're seeking to release? So have you been the person that's been wanting to tell the truth over time, but you just haven't been telling the truth because you were so afraid of the repercussions? You were so afraid of the intimacy, the vulnerability, the openness, the being seenness that it required for you to speak your truth. And now you've gotten to the point of you just have to. But I want to remind you that it's Sagittarius season and that Mars is in Sagittarius, Mercury is in Sagittarius. And so we may find that we just want to blurt out the truth, or we just want to say the truth as it comes. Remember, truth is consensual, which means that you have to create an opening to tell the truth. And you also have to make sure that before you start going to tell the truth, that it's not your truth, that you're just that you're not telling someone about their own truth, but it's how you feel about the situation, and that you are able to sit with that, and that you're able to really take away like all the emotions behind what you need to say, and really see, is it coming because I'm wounded and I'm hurt in this way, or is this what really needs to be said? So the communication does take some time to sit in it. So utilize patience. In Sagittarius season, we don't have a lot of patience. We just want to say things as they seem, and that could be hurtful. So the truth could be filled with a lot of sarcasm, and like a true Sagittarius, right? A lot of sarcasm. And the people that are receiving this are going to be like, well, you're just being sarcastic. I don't really need to be listening to this. However, if you come from a place that you're really speaking about breaking a pattern, then you're going to sit and think about it. And so our wounding over our lifetime has created several patterns in the way in which we communicate with our families, because they're our original relationships. They're the earliest relationships that we've learned. And through those early relationships, we still show up that same way in all our multiple relationships with our partners, with our jobs, with our boss, with our friends. We bring those wounds into each of these relationships. So this wounding around around communication really needs a pattern shifting or a pattern breaking. And this moon in Gemini can really help us to sit and think about how we want to say things and what is it in the communication that we didn't do before, but now we're being called for to do. So we can rationalize things. Have we been someone who, when hurt or wounded, we rationalize it or we intellectualize it, and then we're like, oh, it's okay. We pushed it under the rug, or we made an excuse for, how the other person was, and we pushed that under the rug. But over time, it's become so built up that there's no space for us to push that under the rug anymore. You have to stand up for yourself, and you have to speak up for yourself. So this Gemini moon can be calling us to, like, what are the things that we neglected? What are the things that we were like, we try to cover up our hurt with sarcasm. We try to push it under, like stuff it down, right? All those things may be coming up now. And because it's Sagittarius season, it may be coming up in such a jagged form, right? So take the time to create the right moments for conversation. Use that bowl of calendula that I've been telling you about. I know I have not been doing well with this either, because you just want to react, right? But you may want to, if you have the time to prepare for these difficult conversations, definitely do so, because the emotions are there. They're so present. They're so scary. It's so hard to be vulnerable with people who have wounded you before. It's so hard to open up and talk to people that have wounded you before. But in this moon, we can get into a place of where we can really use our spiritual maturity. We can demonstrate our emotional intelligence. We can demonstrate our spiritual maturity. We can sit with the situation. We can create the right environment. And really, the thing that I want to remind you about is to be immaculate in your words, to have the weight of integrity when we speak. And for us to be immaculate in our conversation and bring integrity to our conversation, that really calls for us to think about what we're going to say and create the right moments that what we're going to say will be received. And so those are the things that I wanted to tell you. With this Gemini full moon in Sagittarius season, Mars is in Sagittarius, Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius. This is a great road opener for the communication that we want to have. But remember, communication begins in the mind. Gemini rules communication, but it also rules thought. So you would want to sit and think about the things that you're going to say. How are you going to present it? It doesn't need to be harsh. It doesn't need to be from a place of anger, which might be hard for us because with all this Martian energy that's now facing us, there's a conjunction with Mars, this moon. So we have a lot of potent energy and built up wounding that we want to communicate, that those things may be coming out really harsh and quick and sarcastic and painful right now before we can notice it. What I'm saying to you is know that all of that is true. Take the time that you need and then speak from a place that has full integrity, right? Right? When we speak to people, and so that we can get across our truth, we can decide on what kind of relationship and communication pattern we now want to have. We don't have to live with the same karmic bonds that we came in. We could change that. We could create karmic balance. And this is an opportunity for you to create more karmic balance with the people that you're closest to, your family members, in the aspect of communication than ever before. Enjoy this time. I'm exhausted. It's been a month, but I'm sending lots of love to you, and I really hope that you're finding moments, right? Finding moments that we can breathe, slow down, and take our time. All the best to you. Happy new moon until we talk again. A happy full moon until we talk again. Bye.